Article 1 of a Treatise on the Power and Primacy of the Pope. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. A Treatise on the Power and Primacy of the Pope by Philipp Melanchthon, translated by F. Bente and W. H. T. Dow. A Treatise on the Power and Primacy of the Pope. Treatise compiled by the theologians assembled at Smalcald, 1537. The Roman Pontiff claims for himself, in the first place, that by divine right he is supreme above all bishops and pastors in all Christendom. Secondly, he adds also that by divine right he has both swords, that is, the authority also of bestowing kingdoms, enthroning and deposing kings, regulating secular dominions, and so forth. And thirdly, he says that to believe this is necessary for salvation, and for these reasons the Roman bishop calls himself, and boasts that he is, the vicar of Christ on earth. These three articles we hold to be false, godless, tyrannical, and quite pernicious to the Church. Now, in order that our proof, reason, and opinion may be better understood, we shall first define what they call being above all, what it means that he boasts of being supreme by divine right. For they mean that he is universal, that the Pope is the general bishop over the entire Christian Church, or, as they say, ecumenical bishop, that is, from whom all bishops and pastors throughout the entire world ought to seek ordination and confirmation, who alone is to have the right of electing, ordaining, confirming, deposing all bishops and pastors. Besides this, he arrogates to himself the authority to make all kinds of laws concerning acts of worship, concerning changing the sacraments, and concerning doctrine, and wishes his articles, his decrees, his laws, his statutes and ordinances to be considered equal to the divine laws, to other articles of the Christian creed and the Holy Scriptures. That is, he holds that by the papal laws the consciences of men are so bound that those who neglect them, even without public offense, sin mortally, that they cannot be omitted without sin. For he wishes to found this power upon divine right and the Holy Scriptures. Yea, he wishes to have it preferred to the Holy Scriptures and God's commands. And what he adds is still more horrible, namely, that it is necessary to believe all these things in order to be saved. All these things shall and must be believed at the peril of forfeiting salvation. In the first place, therefore, let us show from the Holy Gospel that the Roman bishop is not by divine right above, cannot arrogate to himself any supremacy whatever over other bishops and pastors. 1. Luke 22:25. Christ expressly prohibits lordship among the apostles, that no apostle should have any supremacy over the rest. For this was the very question, namely, that when Christ spake of his passion, they were disputing who should be at the head, and, as it were, the vicar of the absent Christ. There Christ reproves this error of the apostles, and teaches that there shall not be lordship or superiority among them, but that the apostles should be set forth as equals to the common ministry of the gospel. Accordingly, he says, the kings of the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and they that exercise authority upon them are called benefactors, but ye shall not be so. But he that is greatest among you, let him be as the younger, and he that is chief, as he that doth serve. The antithesis here shows, by holding these matters against one another, he sees that one lordship among the apostles is disapproved. 2. Matthew 18:2. The same is taught by the parable when Christ, in the same dispute concerning the kingdom, places a little child in the midst, signifying that among ministers there is not to be sovereignty, just as a child neither takes nor seeks sovereignty for himself. 3. John 20:21. Christ sends forth his disciples on an equality, without any distinction, so that no one of them was to have more or less power than any other, when he says, As my Father hath
Sample complete. Ready to continue?